Yes, folks, it's Tales from the Jails with John G. Sutton. Do please, ladies and gentlemen, do please like and subscribe and leave your comments. I had some good comments yesterday. A few requests for songs, but I was been asked to sing My Way a few times. Everybody does it, don't they? So today I'm going to do another song, and I'll just warn you all that when you hear this sound, the song dinger, if you're particularly sensitive, then do what Larry does. Grab your goat and run up the hills. Anyway, today I'm going to talk about that shithouse from Southport. The scumbag that killed them 3 children and 3 little girls. Imagine that. And there's been a police report out. You can see the reports. Just go online and put police report Southport Riots, and you'll come up with a great list of stuff that people are writing on there. The report I'm going to give you today is specifically from the Liverpool Echo, which was published yesterday, in which they're saying that contrary to the statements of our great leader, he's an inspiration, isn't he? Yeah, Keir Starmer. Keir Two-Tier Starmer. Yeah, contrary to his reports saying that it was groups of national evil thugs, it wasn't. The riot in Southport following the murders by the Southport shithouse were undertaken by outraged local residents, many of whom are currently residing within HM prisons, for quite legitimately protesting on the streets of Southport that in the community had been allowed to come a shithouse. It was already being observed by the police. They already knew that the Southport shithouse was potentially a danger, and yet it was still allowed to happen. Strange how this takes place, don't you think? You know, have you noticed how many of these people who commit horrible offences, like the Manchester bomber, yeah, the one that blew up the Manchester Arena, was under observation by the security forces, yet it still went off. And the people of Southport, quite rightly, in my opinion, made their opinions known. Yet our glorious government decided that this was the work of nationally organised thugs, right-wing thugs, by the way, that's what they labelled them, but they weren't. The people that were protesting were citizens of Southport who were absolutely outraged that this horror had been inflicted upon their community. Now, most of you won't know Southport, but it is a relatively quiet, sedate seaside town in the north of England, which is currently under the jurisdiction of the Merseyside Police. And one of the observations made in the police report on this particular disturbance was that the cause they got out of hand, which it probably did get out of hand, undoubtedly it did. I have friends who live in Southport who were calling me up saying, listen to this, John, and I could hear this racket down the phone. And they said the people are rioting outside, and they were rioting in the streets of Southport. But they were not right-wing thugs. They were outraged Southport residents who were making their objections known to the government that they would not tolerate this kind of behaviour. Yet the police report states that one of the reasons that there was insufficient police available was lack of information due to failing to maintain observations on social media. So they actually still believed that this was a nationally organised demonstration. This wasn't. It was quite clear that the people that they put into prison were residents of Southport. Now, it isn't a hotbed of the National Front or Britain First or England, whatever they call it these days. I mean, it used to be the National Front in the 1970s, didn't it? But it's transmogrified into something quite different, but still with the same ultra-right-wing beliefs. But they're not. They didn't organise the Southport demonstrations. It was people of Southport who were out there telling the government, we will not tolerate this. Yet, still we have it. I mean, I live in an area of Lancashire where one of the major hotels is completely full of asylum seekers, I believe they call them. People who come over on boats unlawfully and are housed, fed, and provided with money by our government. And where do they get that money from? They get it from the taxpayers. Well, let me tell you this. I'm 76 years old this time, very soon, and I'm still paying tax. I'm paying tax to house people who should not lawfully be in this country. Why? I mean, can you tell me why? Can anybody tell me why? And a number of these people are, I don't know, loitering around the town. They can't be employed because they're unlawful migrants, so we have to provide for them. And people are objecting. I mean, today is Victory in Europe Day. Today is the 8th of May. And 80 years ago, they declared the end of World War II in Europe. And that's what we're celebrating today. And one wonders, did our soldiers that went over there fighting for the freedom of Britain and indeed for the freedom of Europe, did they really believe that we would disintegrate into this multicultural mess that we are now in? I didn't particularly a big fan of Enoch Powell at the time. I thought he was extremely outspoken. But looking back on the speeches of Enoch Powell today, it makes me wonder, perhaps he really had a point. He said that you cannot allow ethnic minority groups to form themselves into ghettos because we will lose control of our inner cities and we will become a minority. Now, I'm not racist. I'm all for integration. I believe absolutely in when in Rome, do as the Romans do. But there are people that don't exactly believe that. And you probably noticed I'm getting some problem with the lights here. But here we go. So, it's VE Day today. I've got a flag flying in my back garden, the flag of St. George. And one of our regular contributors here, Larry, I sent him a picture of that, and he said they wouldn't allow that in where he lives, in Rotherham, because the council would say it's likely to provoke the ethnic minority residents. Is it? Is it really? Oh well, I say put the flag up and tell them if they don't like it, well, they know where the boats are, because they came in on the bastards. So I thought I'd sing a song. Yeah, it's that time, folks. I've got to warn you, haven't I? That's the song dinger. You've got it. Yep. You've been warned. It ain't going to be very good, but I'll give it a go. This is a song that I thought was quite appropriate for today. This is it was originally sung by Vera Lynn. It's not We'll Meet Again, which was requested, but I've already done that. I'm going to do White Cliffs of Dover. And when I've finished, I reckon the bluebirds will be gone. There'll be bluebirds over the White Cliffs of Dover tomorrow. Just you wait and see. There'll be love and laughter and peace ever after tomorrow, when the world is free. The shepherd will tend his sheep, the valley will bloom again, and Jimmy will go to sleep in his own little room again. There'll be bluebirds over the white cliffs of Dover tomorrow. Just you wait and see. Well, 80 years ago, we believed that. And look what we're getting at Dover now. This is Tales from the Jails, John G. Sutton.